It's game week. Welcome to week one's preview, Jets vs. Bills. Well, Tyson, the regular season's finally here. Last Sunday was our last one without football for the rest of the year.
Thank God.
You ready for opening day?
I can't wait, man. Finally, the preseason nonsense is over. The media nonsense is over. All the hype, everything else is over with. Now it's put up or shut up time. Let your actions speak for yourself.
Now, a lot's made out of game one, and obviously everybody's excited. The Jets open against the Bills at MetLife Stadium. How important is game one?
This game is huge for the Jets for a variety of reasons. First of all, it's a home game. You want to always win your home games. Division rival, it's a conference game. And it's just also they're coming off a bad season, and the fans are kind of panicky right now, where they're kind of worried about the direction the team's headed. So if they can come up with a big win against a division rival, it sets a good tone. You lose the game, they get to go to Pittsburgh next week. It could be, you're not saying they're going to lose that game, but you start out 0-2, the Boo Birds come out. I mean, you come up with a strong presence in the first week, kind of quiet everybody down, get everybody settled in. It'd be a good tone for the season.
Well, is there such a thing as a moral victory then?
No. What Jet fans do. We don't have moral victories.
So we need the win.
Got to get a win.
All right. So let's talk about the keys to the offense.
Okay.
The biggest key in my mind, if I'm under center, Mr. Sanchez, looking to the left or right, I see Mario Williams lining up.
Yeah.
And Mark Anderson. There's a couple of
They're
big
loaded.
additions.
Kyle Williams, they have Darius if he plays. I mean, their front forward line is just they're animals. And you got to look at the first guy you look at is Austin Howard, the right tackle, or if Jason Smith plays there a little bit. You put Mario Williams on Austin Howard. Sanchez is probably already start running right now. I mean, it's a huge concern. You're gonna need a blocking tight end. You need somebody to help him. I mean, he's not gonna be on an island by himself. It'd be stupid to do that.
Well, do you double?
You have to. You try it out, I guess, at first, but you're gonna have to. I mean, let's just be honest about things.
I think the unsung hero of this game might be John Connor, just staying back in that pass, bro.
It very well could be. I mean, their word today was that Bilal Powell took the spot over Joe McKnight as a second back.
Interesting.
So maybe he's better in blitz pickup. Maybe could help give support too. John Connor. I mean, you're gonna look at this is where you miss that blocking tight end, that big bruising blocking tight end they don't have. And with Dustin Keller hurt, it's even a bigger issue.
Well, what are some keys for Mark Sanchez in the passing game?
That's a great question, man, because how did the Jets start out in offense? I mean, how do you attack the Bills' defense? They're going to try to stop the run. No secret about it. So do you come out passing the ball to, loosen them up? Or do you just say, you know what, smash mouth football, we're going to smash you, and the best team's going to win? My concern is that if you start out slow, say you do 2 runs, 3rd and long, I mean, you don't want to do a 3-and-out in your first series. I mean, it could happen, but it's kind of like, how do you want to set them up? You almost want to come out passing, but then if Sanchez struggles or a quick sack, or you kind of don't really know how they're going to attack this. My guess, to be honest with you, is they're probably going to start out conservative, and they're not going to care about the fans booing them. Because if they do 3-and-out, you're already going to hear the Boo Birds come out. But I think Rex Ryan may just say this could be a defensive battle, a low-scoring game. We're fine with punting right off the bat to get settled in for the game.
Well, my prediction is this: the OC is going to sit down with Sanchez in the offense. The first series is going to be absolutely scripted. The best case scenario for me, they score a touchdown right away. Nobody ever remembers that preseason.
I mean, that's easy for everybody to say that. Score a touchdown and everybody's quiet. It's not going to work like that. And I think the Dustin Keller injury is going to be huge for them, because usually what would happen is you look Santonio, you look Dustin Keller, and then you go Hill or Curley or wherever you're going to go to. Keller is going to be a game time decision, I guess, at this point. He said he's going to play, but a hamstring injury is a concern.
Right.
If he's not 100%, it's going to be a big problem. So if he doesn't play, now you're taking away one of the primary weapons in your offense, which can make it very, very conservative. I mean, ideally a touchdown is great. We all want that. But I take a field goal. Just points on the board just to get something up there.
Just get something going.
The last thing you want is a 3-and-out and a bad 3-and-out where it's gain of 1, loss of 1, dump pass for 2, and you punt.
Interception or
whatever, a bad sack, a fumble.
Sorry.
I mean, it's just what it is. Based off the preseason, you think negative things right off the bat.
So, do you think the fear of the interception or the turnover dictates the first series?
You can't play like that. You can't, and that's the problem they had last year. Was at times they were scared to throw the ball until it was 3rd and 12. So if you're gonna commit to the team and say we're gonna play a solid offense, you can't be scared to call plays. You have players there. If you didn't get the right receivers for your team, that's your fault. But don't handcuff Sanchez. That's when the problems start. If you only give him 2 options, he's either going to take a sack, throw the ball away, or throw an interception.
Right.
So either put it out there, don't put it out there, but don't handcuff Sanchez.
All right, let's focus on the defense, the strength of the team. We have high hopes. In a couple of the videos in the past, we predicted a top 5 defense, maybe better than that.
Top 3.
Top 3, big boy. Is Revis ready for Stevie Johnson?
Oh, I can't.
I say
wait.
sarcastically.
I
say sarcastically.
I can't wait for this. The guy gets 70 yards, and all of a sudden he's like the best receiver in football.
That's funny.
I mean, let's not forget some of the coverages where Revis wasn't exactly man. It was a cover. There were coverage catches, and yeah, you just had this feeling that Revis is going to shut him down and give him like 2 catches for 20 yards and laugh about it. I mean, Stevie Johnson now he's talking trash in the papers, how good he is, and how he's the kryptonite. I'm not buying it. And a motivated Revis is a dangerous Revis, and he's dangerous to begin with. But now, I mean, he'll be invisible. I'd be shocked if Stevie Johnson does anything.
Right. It seems to me when these type of players start emerging, they want that diva persona, and I truly feel he's going to get shut down.
Yeah, this is one of those games you don't piss off Revis and you don't insult Rex Ryan's defense. 2 things you don't want to do. I mean, they're prideful people. Game 1, and in the back of their mind, they knew this was coming, and I just don't think Stevie Johnson's going to do a damn thing.
Well, what do you think the keys are for the Jets to shut down that Bills offense?
I think the first thing is stop Fred Jackson. Stop the running game. Fred Jackson, C.J. Spiller, shut them down and make Ryan Fitzpatrick beat you. Almost the same game plan that Bills want to use against the Jets want to use against the Bills. Shut down Spiller. Fred Jackson's a dynamic running back. If he's fully healthy, he catches the ball out of the backfield. If you can get them contained, then the next one is the old bugaboo of the tight end. I mean, Chandler is a decent tight end who can make some plays in the passing game. You can, just control him to a point.
Well, he's slow.
But he catches the ball.
He's a big boy.
It doesn't matter how slow they are last year. It doesn't matter who it was.
6'7", 260,
doesn't matter how slow they are, man. If you're not covering, they're going to catch the ball. So that's my key is stop the running game, force Fitzpatrick to beat you. Honestly, I don't think he can, especially with Stevie Johnson being shut down. I mean, David Nelson's a good receiver, but I think Kamari can handle him. So I think they have an advantage there. It's just contain Fred Jackson and Spiller.
Well, one matchup I'm going to keep an eye on, and for the fantasy football owners out there, Spiller to me is scary.
Catching the ball.
Off that screen on the outside.
Yeah.
That's a matchup between those that weak side linebacker.
That's what
maybe
the
safeties on him.
Absolutely.
LaRon Landry and Steven Spiller. That's kind of what I'm keying on. Is there any something other than the sexy matchups? There something
that's what I'm saying. That's like if you look in the past, the problem's always been covering a tight end and covering the running back. That's always been the problem. And Spiller is that kind of guy where he's explosive, he's shifty too. So you miss him, he's gone. That's where you had the Landry. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how they handle that. But we'll see. I think they'll do a good job against them.
Yeah, and best case scenario for me, Spiller takes one of those little screens, doesn't realize how fast LaRon Landry is.
And just get blasted.
Gets blasted, sets the tone for the game.
Yep.
And the defense rolls.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them come out hard hitting like Bart Scott, Landry. They're going to start laying lumber early on and set the tone. Hitting Fitzpatrick. Because let's be honest about Fitzpatrick. He had a very good 6 games this season, 7 games this season. He got his huge contract and he didn't do crap after that. So you can hit him a little bit, you can rattle him, and he has happy feet like Sanchez used to get or still gets. So he's not a perfect quarterback either.
No, he's a smart kid, but watching a couple of games,
he gets erratic. If you start hitting him, he gets erratic.
That's right. I've seen him underthrow wide open receivers with nobody in his face. So that's key.
You unleash an Aaron Mabe, and you start just move him around the pocket, get him flushed a little bit, and take away your primary guy, Stevie Johnson. There's your formula.
He didn't see pass rushes like this at Harvard.
No, he didn't. So
give me a prediction.
Wow, man, this is a big game. I see it being a very physical, low-scoring game. I think it's gonna be a lot of hard hits, a lot of run the ball, be a lot of grinding. I'm gonna say, 17-13 Jets.
Well, that's what I was thinking. You were gonna say a close game, which brings me to my last question.
Oh.
How do you think the refs are gonna affect this?
Oh, that's my biggest concern. To be honest, you have some concerns. That's got to be one of them, because a close game like that, it's hard hitting. The holding calls. There could be a variety of things that can kind of screw up on. So I still can't believe they didn't get the deal done, which is a complete sin. $1 billion industry, and they didn't do that. Yeah, so it's a concern, but you know what? You got to find a way to win the game. Every team's dealing with the same refs, so you have the same situation. Point. So don't make that your excuse. Play smart football, play physical football. I think the Jets should win. The crowd should be fired up. I mean, it's the home opener, which is the best day of the year of my life. I mean, it's just you can't wait for that home opener.
Well, one thing that scared me this offseason was I actually saw one of these refs throw a flag on a pass interference, I saw a coach yell at him and he picked up the flag.
Yeah,
That scares me. That scares me.
You just can't. You know what?
They need to play with confidence.
I'll pull up my own Herman Edwards. Just play to win the game. You can't worry about rest. You can't worry about excuses. Just smash mouth football because it's a lot riding on this one. It really is. You know, it's a conference rival, division game, home game. You got to find a way to do it. And then next week's Pittsburgh.
Well, hopefully when we do this next Wednesday, it's a happy meeting.
I hope so.
I hope you're smiling.
So. And the other thing, one more thing that I mentioned too, is that the Bills, while all the hype around the Jets is with the Wildcat, the Bills also have their own form of the Wildcat too with Brad Smith. So, I mean, don't be surprised they come out and try to shove it at us a little bit, saying, hey, you know what? You have your Wildcat. Here comes ours. So the Jets defense has to be prepared for that as well, especially with Brad Smith, who's a very good passer. So that's another little thing to keep an eye on. I think the Jets Wildcat will be. I mean, I think they're going to do it right with it. But keep an eye on the Bills too, because you just know they would love to make the Jets look foolish by beating them with their own Wildcat.
All right, and real quick, for the fantasy fans out there, are there a couple of Jets that they can keep an eye on? Maybe you can predict a sleeper starter?
Not in this game, man. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I mean, if anybody, I'd say maybe Sean Green.
Okay.
I would have no confidence in it. I wouldn't start anybody in this game. I mean, if you have, obviously, Stevie Johnson, you may start him with a prayer, but I wouldn't touch any Jets in this game.
Well, let's get them.
Let's go Jets. Thank you for watching the JetSider Jets Bills preview. You can follow us on Facebook at Tyson Rauch, Twitter, TRauch21. Come to the L7 Tailgate at MetLife Stadium. We're there all the time, L7tailgate.com. And also check out DeadSeriousFightGear.com as they're the sponsor for our t-shirts. So I'm Tyson. That's Alf. See you guys next week.